welcome to my fiber journey. This is Sherry from the Twisted Dye Kitchen. So happy you're here. Welcome to Kirkwood, Missouri, where it's hot and humid and rainy and typical St. Louis summer days. Yuck. Always a bad hair day in the summertime. But we're not here to talk about that. I'm so glad you're here. So glad you spent a few minutes of your time in your busy lives just catching up with me. In today's episode, we're going to go ahead and talk about some of my knitting, some of my completed knitting. I did a video of my rug, which is right here. There's a picture of what I'm using as my guide for my coloring for the rug. That's a shot from Iceland that my husband took while we were there. And there's been a lot going on, more gardening than anything. I did get back from New York with my daughter, who's never been to New York. We went to see my son and his fiance. Yep, I got a fiance in the mix. Their wedding date is scheduled for May 20th of 2023. So yes, hello YMCA. Get this body in shape. I don't want to look like an old fuddy-duddy while I'm up there having fun and on the dance floor. But life is good. I can't complain. Thank you again for coming and spending some time with me. I really appreciate the time that you spend, and your comments are just always awesome. Love to hear that you enjoy the little snippet of my life. If you like, give me a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed, please do so. Just click the button. And if you want to know and get a notification of my upcoming podcasts, just hit the bell. So without further ado, let's get going. Good morning. Just wanted to show you an update on my rug that is on the shetty camp. It's getting, I've already cranked it once, and this is the progress that I've made. There's my pile of wool strips, wool yarn, and here is the picture that I'm using as my guide that my husband shot for while we were in Iceland. So as you can see, I've got a ways to go, but every morning I wake up and come and spend at least 10, 15, 20 minutes, up to an hour working on it. As you can see, I've gotten my little road, and that road has a mixture of 3 or 4 different types of wools in order to give it that grungy look. So pretty cool. I'm excited. I love this, and now I've got another one that I'm itching to get on the frame, so gotta get going. As I mentioned, my daughter and I went up. We were there, I want to say the 19th of May, and we came back that Sunday, which I think was the 21st, 22nd, something like that. I don't remember exactly. I think it was this. We left on the 17th and came back on the 20th. I think that's how that went. But it was packed full of typical New York sightseeing. We went to the Statue of Liberty, walked around the fields and the areas by the Statue of Liberty. We tried to get on Ellis Island, but it was too late in the day, and the ferries that were going back and forth wouldn't have brought us back. So that was not going to be a good thing. We did do a lot of walking. We averaged about 5 miles of walking a day, which the first day we got there, it was cooler. It was in the upper 50s and rainy. So that was kind of a damper, but it was fine. We still got around and still enjoyed ourselves. Met up with my son and his fiance, and we had dinner, and it was an amazing night just to be with these young adults, just having a great time with them. The next day, my son joined us, and we went walking some more, went to the World Trade Center, just went on the grounds, went to the firehouse that was for the first responders that came to the towers. So that was very sad and very proud moment. My son-in-law is a firefighter, paramedic, and we know the lives that they have and the strenuous, the fear factor, the challenges that they have. So it's another respect for firemen and paramedic. So we got to see them, and my daughter collected t-shirts from different firehouses, which was kind of fun and kind of cool. And so we did that. I think she went to about 3 firehouses, and she really wanted to get something from the Ghostbusters firehouse, which was really kind of cool. But the fire engines were out on a call, so that was kind of a bummer. We couldn't get in to talk to them and get a t-shirt from them. Very sought after t-shirt. And then we had lunch, met up with my future daughter-in-law, and went to a nice little brunch area. And I'm trying to think, what else did we do that night? Went out for dinner again. That was Friday night. And then Saturday, they surprised my daughter with tickets to see Off on Broadway. Ta-da! We got to see Wicked. Oh my gosh, that was the best show I think I've seen. And it was even cooler because we were off Broadway. So that was a really fun afternoon. My daughter was thrilled. She loves theater. My future daughter-in-law, saw Wicked for the first time with her father in London. So she's a huge theater fan, and that's very, very cool to see that she loves the arts. And my son actually went, and we all actually had a very good time. It was so funny, and I just didn't realize it was going to be that funny. And then that evening, we got cleaned up and met her parents, who I've not met, and it was kind of very cool because this time we actually will be family, which was a very nice surprise, and we enjoyed each other's company and hit it off really well. So that was very cool. They live in Connecticut and came in on the train to come and see us. And we had dinner, and then Sunday we went for brunch and walked around a little bit more, went to Harry Potter store. My daughter is a huge Harry Potter fan, so we got something for my grandson for his 13th birthday, which is coming up at the end of June. So fun, filled, packed weekend. Came back, and I have developed plantar fasciitis. Oh my God, my foot was just killing me. So I've been going to my chiropractor for probably almost 2 months, and he's been helping me with the plantar fasciitis as well, which is all connected to your spine and yada yada. So that's what we did up until the end of May, and then my part-time job, and then the holidays hit. So it's been kind of crazy, and I've been trying to see when I could podcast and have some content to show you and talk about. So I'm going to take a little drink. Take your cuppa, get your drink. I'm actually becoming a huge fan on iced coffee, which is really kind of fun. So I'm going to put this down, so hold on. So you remember my sagas about my sock knitting? Well, the first two pair of socks that I'm going to show you are both from Andrea Mowry, her everyday sock pattern. And what made it even more exciting is that both of these socks are from my hand spun. So I'm going to try to get my hair back to normal, which is not going to happen until fall. But the brown pair, as you are aware, were too big for my feet, and I was really kind of deciding if I wanted to rip them out or what I was going to do. So I decided that I was going to have my husband have a pair of my hand knit, hand spun socks. He was thrilled, and they fit him like a glove. I mean, I was so thrilled. So here they are, a pair, and they fit. Isn't that awesome? So I'm thrilled to death with the orange, and the brown is from my Shetland. I think this is Ashford's Shetland wool, but that's a true representation of the coloring. I mixed the moirette color with the dark brown, so I got kind of like a heathered brown. And then we got the orange fiber while we were in Maine, so that was kind of a cool added. And my husband actually liked the orange with it, so he's going to be all set for fall and winter when he goes out and does his annual photo shoots out in different cold weather. And then the other pair were from, as I mentioned, Andrea Maurer, her everyday socks. These are mine, and this coloring is my Mardi Gras colorway. It had merino and bamboo, I think, or silk, one of the two. So that's this coloring. The cream color is just a basic sock yarn that I had from my stash. So, because I knew I wouldn't have enough of this in order to make both pair of socks. So I'm super stoked that I have a pair as well from my hand spun. So can you believe it? I persevered. I pushed on. I was not gonna give up, and I'm so glad I did keep my promise to myself that I was gonna go ahead and knit a pair of socks and have the hand spun completed. I don't like timelines. However, I did want to get these done. So they are done. I still have to take care of the weaving in of the ends, but other than that, they are washed and blocked, and they're done. Done, 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 done. So yes, I've got the sock fever, and I'm making 2 more pairs of socks, and the first pair are going to be for me, and the second one will be for my sister. So I'm going to show you what I've completed so far, and the pattern is from my friend Joyce from Ruby Moss Cottage, and it's her first 2 sock patterns that she's created. And this is the pattern, what they look like. And here is the name. It's Hearts a Foot Sock. So go check it out. show her support. I love the toe. I think that toe is really cool. And I don't know if you can see, but there is a heart right there on the top part of the foot. So the sock yarns that I picked, this is from Gina Skein Cocaine. Love her colors. I just love how she dyes. This is one for sock yarn, and then this is the other that went together for her sock yarn set. And here is where I am with, sorry, trying to get this so you can see the little ruffle. Isn't that cute? So that gets folded over. I kind of think it'd be kind of cute just to have it sticking up like that, wouldn't it? As a cute little ruffle. But I have both. This one's not as far as this one, but I have the second one started. And then for the toe, it's going to be this beautiful golden yellow. And that's going to be the toe for this sock. I'm trying to get it so that it's not so blown out because of this, what little sun we do have. So these three colors are going to be for my sock. And I'm really looking forward to the yellow as the toe, because I love that shape of the toe. I think that's super cool. So go check that out on Ravelry. It's Hearts a Foot Sock by Joyce Fetty of Ruby Mouse Cottage. That's pretty cool. So that is sock number 1. And then sock number 2 is, I gotta get this out so you can see it. I'm working on the second cuff. Trying to get it so you can see. It's just a simple rib. Excuse me. Just a simple rib. But the coloring, I'm just trying to see if the sun decided to come out. It's very soft. And I'll show you on the second cuff because it had a lot more, there we go, a lot more of the coloring. Oh, that really blown out. There we go. There we go. That's a pretty good representation. It's got some soft yellows, pinks, some powder blues, and here is the really pretty yarn, and it's got a little silver stellina in it, so that's super cool. That pattern, sock pattern, is from, bear with me a second. This one is the Austin Socks by Kay Litton from the Crazy Sock Lady Co. And this is on yellow paper, but I'm sure you're all familiar with the Crazy Sock Lady. And I wanted to do this. This one is going to be for my sister for her birthday, which is not until October, so I gave myself some time to knit this up because you know I'm not a fast knitter. I'm trying to see if I can get something to show you what this color looks like without the sun interfering. So hold on a second, please. Okay, so you ready for this? The fiber is from the Fold Out Cat Fiber Art Studio in Huntsville, Alabama. And very, very cool. Have not worked with her fibers before, didn't even know about her until the Fiber Festival. But oh my goodness, does that not look like me? So I'm going to try to get these out. She has a special process that she does so that this is complete colorway. So I think she calls it the kettle dyeing, where she starts with either the darker or the lighter, I'm not really sure. And she just lays another colorway on top and another one on top. So this is one. Oh my gosh, isn't that gorgeous? Here is the second one. So this one's a little bit more vibrant and it's introducing more of this magenta ink in there. So that's going to sit on top like that. Here's the third one. Look at that. Oh my gosh, it is yummy. Yummy. So that goes on top. Now we're getting into the darker part where it's more muted tones. The camera is not doing this any justice. But look at those rich colors. Oh, yummy, yummy, yummy. And then here is the darkest. Oh, I just love these colors. So there's a deep red, blood red. There's some purple in here. I don't know if you can see that purple. Some of the hot pink. Again, the reddish orange. The orange, more fall type coloring. Let's see, I'll open up one of these. Look at this. Oh my gosh. She just does such a wonderful job. Love the unique method in which she did this. And I'll tell you what, this is called the Litter Mate, and it's JJ Zinnias. It says 5 braids of fiber hand dyed together as a set in a single kettle for maximum complementary coordination. And this is 100% Falkland. 4 skeins. It's called the Litter Mate. Isn't that fabulous? Oh my gosh. Check her out. Just gorgeous. So that's going to be on my wheel come Tour de Fleece. And I mentioned to my friend Ange from Yarn and Yarns, she wanted me to, I haven't been to a fiber festival like everybody for 2019. So I really had to control myself on what I wanted to do and what I wanted to focus my time on. And this caught my eye like first thing when I got into the show. And I was like, yep, that's pretty much my wad. But oh my gosh, just simply gorgeous. So that's going to be on my wheel come Tour de Fleece. So hold on. The other area that I've been really exploring, which you're probably going to say, well, why are you doing that when you have all these fiber projects? Well, the study of color comes in different varieties, obviously. Comes in forms of fiber, fabric, my rug hooking, the spinning, the knitting. I tried to study colors primarily on how they work well with each other and complementary and, you know, opposites. And I feel like in some areas, as I mentioned before in the last episode, how I really take after my mother, who was an oil painting artist. And she dabbled in color, studied color for years, and was amazing on what she was able to do and accomplish. So I signed up for a class, I want to say last October, for fodder. And it's a wonderful, wonderful group of creative women. I believe, I don't think there's any men in this fodder school #1. But I have learned so much with color, with different techniques of watercolor, acrylic, gel paint, gel printing, just different areas of pushing my boundaries of not being afraid of doing anything it's just simple paint on paper. But the construction of different items that we've done throughout these past few months has just been amazing. And one of them is this folder that I did. This is some of my art yarn that I had, and used that for connecting all my folders together. But here is this binder is from one of the classes, and in there were some of the classes for my little mushrooms painted with my watercoloring, and just kind of fun type projects. Here's some of my little flowers. They're little pansies that I did from watercoloring. I don't know if you can see that real well. I had so much fun with these. I've learned so much from these classes, and these teachers are spectacular. But what I wanted to show you was my most recent, here's some of my fodder that I've done from some of the stencils that I created. And then the paper itself is what I've worked with. So this is a stencil that I made, and then I cut it out from the paper that I painted and used from one of the classes. And here's another one. You remember the old snowflake cutouts? Well, that's what this is. And then there's some scribbles in their technique to add some interest in it. So that was from another class that we learned. Just so much fun. I mean, even when I look back at these, I'm thinking, how cool is this? I need to get these out and make sure that I add these to some of my stationery. And here, this is out of a watercolor paper, and that's a little stiffer, but yet it was used with different papers that I had created and cut out. Just this past, I want to say the beginning part of May, we had this exchange from the people that attended the class. And the exchange was art trading cards. And the artist trading cards were little 3 by 2.5 inch cards that we made little collages from. And I didn't realize how large this, excuse me, I'm going to close my window again. Hold on. So here's my ATC cards. So this one is from a lovely lady from Glencoe, Illinois. And I'm probably going to be duplicating myself, but just in case, because since the camera shut off. This one, Love, from San Mateo, California. This one is from a lovely lady from Orangedale, California. Reno, Nevada. Look at those cute hearts. This card is from New Mexico. This one I got just recently. Oops, sorry. And she is from Boise, Idaho. Just I mean, the talent from these women all over the United States. And there is one. And there. That one. And then my last one is right there. What amazing, talented women from all over, just a small portion of what I picked out, from the United States. There were from South America, Australia, Japan, basically Asia type countries, all participated in this. And you had the option to pick what area you wanted to pick from so that you didn't have international postage. But this, I've really been torn to decide if I wanted to do another year, coming up with, my son's wedding, paying for, a lot of expenses for my daughter and her young little family, as well as, the mother of the groom and, the yada, yada, yada. So it's been a fun experience, and I'm thinking, I've got all this art that I've created. It's like, what am I going to do? I got to keep that momentum up. So I think I'm going to be signing up for the next class. And I went to the dollar store so that my pieces can stay nice and ready for me for when I want to go ahead and make some additional art for some of the new projects that are coming through. So I've been trying to keep all my elements together so that I can see them, I know where they are, and be able to make some art with my stationery from my pen pals that I write to. So it's not just creating this art and not using it. I'm using it on just about anything that I want to add a little color. I've started at the Y to get myself in shape, so I'm going to work on myself. And I have some, how I am with journals. I'm going to go ahead and create a journal for the food that I eat, keeping my calorie count and maintaining my integrity of my calorie intake. So these are some of the things that I've got on my plate that I'm going to be adding my fodder to my journal for my exercise, my food intake. So just a little bit of what I do and just a little snippet in my world. I hope this is something that interests you, something that is just a little different than just a knitting podcast, spinning podcast. The rug hooking I just adore. But I hope you enjoyed it. I love spending time with you, and I missed spending time with you this past month, but it was just too crazy. But I hope you enjoy yourself. I hope you enjoy what makes you happy. And as always, enjoy. Bye-bye for now.